Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on YouTube.com with me, Stuttering Craig. I like movies that have sand in them. Wow.
He doesn't like it in his mouth.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
I don't like the texture in my mouth.
What? And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv. What's going on, everybody? Hey, happy Tuesday to you. You're having a good day? Hanging out, doing nothing, just watching your boys? Hi, I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the most important podcast of your video game day. It's Side Scrollers. Man, I'll tell you what, good stuff. We got a lot going on. We had a fun guest today, straight plucked right out of the community. You can listen to him right now. Listen to it. Listen to it. We'll get to it in just a second. First, let's introduce Travis Keys. Hello, Travis. How are you, buddy?
Good morning. We do have a great guest. It is going to be a great day. Oh, and I really don't like the texture in my mouth. I have to hear that all the time.
That's right. Hey, Dungeon Nose over on Rumble says, we have no idea how long we're going to be on Twitch, y'all. We're not signing that terms of service, all right? We're not signing it. We're going to be booted one day. But I'll tell you what, I'm excited to bring on this man. As the guitars end, he can bust us out with some sweet, sweet sounds of his electric guitar. The composer, or the, I don't know, what's the proper word? Guy who played the song you just heard. It's Paul Hadouken.
Hadouken!
Let's go!
There we go.
Hadouken!
Let's
Love that. Let's go. That's awesome. Listen, you know, we had Desiree on yesterday, and Desiree did a really great job of playing tunes while we read off some super chats. Maybe today, whenever we have super chats, you can just bust into some sort of crazy melody or beat or whatever.
I'll do my best.
Not to put you on the spot or anything, but
That's cool. I can do it. I can do it.
Hey, look, we got a good show today. Lots going on. We're going to be talking about this potential video game strike. All your favorite video games, poof, up. Thanks, Hollywood. We got Elon Musk suing the Anti-Defamation League, which, you know, hey, that's interesting. An update from Twitch, which is, you know, could be, I don't know, it's acting like Twitter. And we have no information, spoiler, on who the new voice of Mario will be, but we will know when we'll find out, which is great. So,
we're done.
Paul
if
Paul is gonna play during the super chats, can you sing the super chats?
you know what I will do? I will sing.
We'll go back and forth. I'll harmonize with you.
Okay, listen. This is what I need from you right now, Paul. This is what I need from you right now.
By the way, you guys hit your goal already.
I know.
You like how I
Sorry.
say those things so that I don't have to do stuff like that, right? If I say something like that, hey, why don't you do this? It never has to be me.
Okay, this is how we hit our goal. Stardust Viking came in with 20 gifted memberships to the channel. Hey,
Psycho.
Give me some sweet tunes, because I'm going to tell you who exactly got gifted a membership from Stardust Viking. Let's hear it. Give me some sort of something right here, Paul. Give me a fat, sweet, soothing lullaby of wonder.
Soothing.
Whatever. Excitement. I'm excited. Man, let's go Stardust Viking. Whatever you want.
start reading them off.
Yeah, go ahead. Just
Okay.
you go on, and I'll keep going.
Oh, wait. Where is it? Oh.
It's
There we
exciting
go.
times. Thank you so much, Stardust Viking. And TLR Eden came in with the $10 super chat. It's Paul Hadouken.
Hadouken!
And also that membership for 5 months. Let's go. All right. Oh, hey, let's. Can you go a little more upbeat? Less
Upbeat.
fuel.
Okay.
Less fuel, more like fire or something. I don't know. More metallic.
More metallic-y.
Yeah. Stardust Viking has gifted 20 memberships. One to JR, one to Jackson, one to Diana Francisco, one to Eric, one to Tattoo Games. GK got one. Zon got one. Boo69, Enigma 0, Shifty Eye Ninja Malware. I never show says I love that. Mixer got one. Ahuki and Jay Tappy got one. Let's stinking go. So many gifted memberships. One to Billy Go Boom. One to Chris Frost and St. G. John J got one and Thomas M. So did Theodore Roosevelt. Actually, no, he didn't. Theodore Roosevelt didn't get one. But Gippy Lee did. Let's go.
Theodore Roosevelt, you suck.
That's awesome.
No, I'm just kidding.
we lost Paul. Did we lose Paul? It was rocking out, man.
We did.
No, it's good.
Well,
listen. That's what we'll do for gifted memberships today. We will stop down and do a very random breakdown of Paul playing music with me reading off whoever gifting memberships.
He was
today.
jamming so hard he broke the internet.
Paul will come back. Paul will be back. Dude came in with the $1 Rumble Rant. Says never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna turn around and desert you. Love that. And my boy Extra Zero also came in. Says glad to be back modding and memeing today. Also super glad to see my boy Paul on here. Let's freaking go! All right. Look, I'm glad you guys are here, man. I am. We're gonna have a good show. Paul's gonna be joining us again once. Maybe he was just rocking too hard. I think that's what it was. Just straight up exploded his internet. But I do think that it ended at the perfect time when I was letting you know that Theodore Roosevelt became a member of the channel, which was great. So, okay, so we got a lot going on. I want to let you guys know if you guys are watching over on Rumble, hit the follow button. Almost to 3,000 followers over there. Hit the thumbs up. Also, we have a goal, as always, of 300 thumbs up every episode. Let's see if we can hit that. And we will not be able to do it without your help. So please consider doing that. It helps. And head down to the comments. Comments are a great way for YouTube to know that you guys are watching and engaged and stuff. Let us know what you think of the episode. You can tell us we suck. You can tell us it's fun. You can tell us that we're the most important daily podcast on the internet. You can do that if you want, but whatever. We also have a Twitter account at SideScrollerPod, which was my tweets were blowing up last night because of a tweet that was put up by the SideScroller Pod channel, a little YouTube short. Or I guess a short or a whatever, and whatever they're called. I don't know. Just the little short vertical videos about my super reasonable stance and analogy of preferred pronouns. But apparently people who watched that weren't super reasonable, but whatever, which was great. Also, we have an Instagram, right, Blabs? That's right. Blabs is in Australia. I have proof that Blabs is in Australia right now. Trav, you ever been to Australia before?
I have not. It's on my list. To be honest, I don't think I'll ever make it. Just I had a hard time flying to Hawaii. I have anxiety, so like I have to drug myself up, and I'm claustrophobic, and I'm also scared of heights and deep water. So like, so it was just a rough 12-hour flight to Hawaii, and I don't even know how long it would be to get to Australia.
Well, it's from where I'm at, it's about 17 and a half hours. So it's quite the distance, but
longer for me.
Yeah. Blabs out there, like as Juan says, Blabs out there riding kangaroos. Could you just imagine Blabs out there going, woo, riding these kangaroos, trying to like what are they called? Chicken fights? The chicken fights where you get on somebody's shoulders, and she's out there with like Mazza or Lethal Lightning, and they're all doing chicken fights except on kangaroos.
I still want to see her with the capybara. I think they're the cutest fucking animals in the world. It's like a big hamster dog.
Oh man, that's great. That's a great way to bring in Paul Hadouken. There he is.
My
It's
internet
Paul-
couldn't handle the rocking out.
That's okay.
Is Paul a big hamster dog?
Yeah. Just a big old,
I
big old
am.
scruffy guy.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
Yes, I am.
Speaking of Paul, says the Paul Hadouken, extremely talented
No,
guitar
we
player
got-
and mod.
We got the fake
No.
one.
The fake, yeah, exactly. I'm a clone of a woman that is now. No, let's not get into that. Canceled.
Canceled. Speaking of canceled, tomorrow we'll have Melanie Mack on the show. That'll be great. She's gonna be,
Canceled.
co-hosting tomorrow. Then on Thursday, I'll be interviewing Salty Cracker one-on-one, which is great.
What'd you call me? Sorry.
That's what I did. It's crazy. I have confirmed he'll be on Thursday, which I'm very much looking forward to, and chatting about his career. And I'm sure he's going to get a lot of people pissed off because that's what he does, which is exciting. By the way, we've reached out to a lot of people, and I've personally reached out to a lot of people about coming on the show, and many people are very open to it. Some people have no interest. And you know what? That's fine. That's totally cool. That's their prerogative. But I want to let you know that we are reaching out to any and all people from all walks of life to be a part of the show.
Yes, and I have recently found out a lot of my emails go to spam, so I'm going to make a new email account.
Yes.
I was told that recently. And I'm, oh, that's nice. So that's probably why I don't get responded to by a lot of people.
Hutzel says, Melanie is totally not a controversial figure.
Not at all.
Well, she always adds something to the show whenever she shows up, which is a great thing.
I have a feeling tomorrow might be a high view day for some reason.
We'll see.
Someone's gonna lurk.
Yeah, absolutely. Rudderly useless says, did you reach out to Movie Bob? He'd be a lively interview. No, I haven't reached out to Movie Bob. It's funny. I saw a video actually. Paul, do you know who Movie Bob is?
Movie Bob, no.
So I've known Bob for the better part of 15, 16. Travis, are you clicking?
That's me.
Clicking? Okay. Sorry. Going.
Yeah,
over here doing the modding over here.
I have a silent mouse. No, but he's on. Movie Bob is now on the contact list as of 2 seconds ago.
I'll reach out to him. Like I said, I've known him for a long time. Apparently, he's gone into the deep end of the political space as well. Like he's like Adam Sessler, kind of crazy. But like the thing is, whenever I talk to Bobby, he's always been a pretty nice guy. So I only know of what my interactions from him. So I will absolutely treat him with respect if he comes on. I don't want to talk about his time and getting started and stuff. I think that'd be a really interesting conversation. I mean, like, why not? And
to clarify for our viewers and anybody else who may see this, we also invite people from the other side on. They just don't respond, or
just say no. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like. Conversation is a one-way street, apparently, which is always a good thing. So, when you have a show that's built around conversation.
Well, and the funniest part is, I'm in the middle, but I'm probably closer leaning to their side, but they would put me on the other side.
Right.
Right.
No matter what you say, no matter what you're like, hey, this is what my real beliefs are. This is what I truly believe. No, you said that. Bye-bye. On that side.
Or what I don't say and they demand I say.
Right. That's wild.
More recently a thing that happens.
Later today, after the show today, I'll be joined. Well, I guess I'll be playing by myself. It's actually me versus you, Gentle G2s. I'm going to be over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel. It is Craig versus Ninja Gaiden on the NES. And the Oven Mitts will be back. The
Over Mitts.
The Over Mitts will be there. The drunk goggles will be used, as well as the mirror goggles. So all three will be available, and nice. Hard resets will be there. We're doing hard resets a little different, actually. We're going to do hard resets for every time Mario finishes a level. So it's a bigger contribution for everybody can help. So it should be super fun. So nice. Craig versus Ninja Gaiden on the NES coming up probably around 1:30, 2 o'clock. It just kind of depends on how long this show goes. So with that said, yeah, man, lots going on. Hopefully you guys can pop in and be a part of it. I'm very excited to ask this question, Paul. But is it possible for you just to try and attempt the hard news theme in person? Is it possible for you even to attempt, or should I just play the music bed that I have available right here?
I can try, but let's see if the internet, just totally.
Well, if he
craps out.
does play it, who's gonna say hard news?
I could say it.
Yeah,
Okay.
here we go. Let's go.
So
It's time for
wait.
my favorite segment. Your favorite segment. Everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news.
Oh wait, no, that was weak. That was weak. I gotta do it over.
Fired.
I had to have the better. Okay. It's time for my favorite segment. Your favorite segment. Everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for. I may have butchered it. Hard news.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Let's go. That's outstanding. All right. We got a lot of video game and entertainment news to talk on today. Which, hey, that's why you come here, right? The video game and entertainment news. And no bigger video game star than our boy Mario. And he's got the new Mario game coming out. It's already the previews that have been put out have been pretty spectacular. People are saying this is the new Mario game that's coming out. This is the thing that I've been sticking to is IGN said this game might as well be called Super Mario Brothers 4, or I guess possibly number 5. But it could be a mainline Mario game, which is pretty cool. Mario Wonder. But the big news that everyone picked up on literally immediately was that Mario is going to have a new voice this time around. A new voice by a new voice actor. But
Chris Pratt?
Well, nobody knows yet. Nobody knows yet, Trav. And nobody will know until the credits of Super Mario Wonder.
Okay, if they do use Chris Pratt, I don't mind that if he does speaks normally, but the wahoos and stuff like that, you need to have somebody that sounds similar to the prior guy. I think you need to keep those when he's kicking and making those kind of noises. That kind of noise needs to be the same.
Busted, guys. I'm the new voice of Mario. Yahoo!
Hey, you nailed it right there. It's amazing how Nintendo wanted a new voice of Mario that sounded exactly like the old voice of Mario, to the point where people are like, no, that he was just having a bad day when he voiced that stuff. But voice actors aren't allowed to have bad days. They're going to get it right and they're going to nail it they're going to nail it eventually. So
if they do have Chris Pratt do it, to be honest, they probably have so much of the original guy's voice backlogged that they don't need to have somebody do the wahas and the woohoos. They just have them.
Right.
Sure. So what's funny about this is, so nobody knows who it's going to be. And we'll certainly find out because there'll be review copies that'll go out. And maybe that'll be part of the embargo, right? The idea that you can't talk about it until the game is released. But Kotaku or IGN or Polygon or somebody who gets the game early will go out and they will, they'll have the story that goes up as soon as the embargo's up. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you get a game for review, most times, specifically with a company like Nintendo, there's an embargo and there's certain things you can and cannot talk about in previews and reviews. Nintendo is notorious for this. So
the things they want to be a surprise, or whatever. Yeah.
But I'll say this once again, I'm going to be doing a full playthrough of this game once it's released. Day one. Can't wait. That's part of the Mario Fun-a-thon. What's also interesting about this is that they came out Charles Martinet, the original voice of Mario. He's a Mario ambassador, but he doesn't even know what that means right now. They haven't really talked about it, which is kind of funny. He was at this Nintendo Live event that took place in Seattle. We talked about that a few months ago, and Doug Bowser mentions Mario new voices. We'll see. We'll let that play out, and that'll be within the credits. People will learn who the new person is at that point in time, but we don't plan on making any announcements about that. So they go on to talk to Martinet, and he says he doesn't actually know what a Nintendo ambassador is yet. And he says, I'm not retired, as it were. I don't know how, but I'm an ambassador. and as we step forward in the future, I will learn, and we'll all learn what exactly that is.
See, I would think that that's him going to events, launch events. That's him doing press for them. Or I don't know about his contract with them. He could make a lot of money off of this, just going to cons and doing signings and shit. He could make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I'd kill it for sure. We
don't know. We don't know if Nintendo has a clause in his contract saying you can't independently make money. You have to
Well, someone's saying we had boob ads. Oh, we do have boob ads. Look at that right there. There you go. I wasn't even
Nice.
paying attention to the boob ads. Let's go. But yeah, we tried to get Charles Martinet at SGC, and his speaker fee was pretty pricey, if I recall.
Well,
yeah.
Was it above 100K?
No. Nothing like that.
25K?
No, nothing like that. You know the most expensive person that we tried to get who had the biggest speaking fee, and keep in mind this is 2008, was Felicia Day. We tried to get Felicia.
Yeah.
Do you remember her?
Yeah, she was big back
yeah.
then. She's
Yes.
one who Geek and Sundry and all that stuff.
Yeah. We tried to get Felicia Day, and she wanted 10 grand for the weekend.
Jeez.
Wow.
And I was like,
Well, and here's the crazy part about it. The reason why those upfront fees aren't a lot all the time is because they get their rooms paid for it. A lot of time the flights pay for it and all that. And they get to go make money signing autographs. You get $20 a pop per picture or whatever, per piece of merch you sign, and 2,000 people want to see you. How much money is that? That's where your money comes from.
Pretty damn good weekend.
Yeah.
Martinet came back and said, in the meantime, I'll be ambassading, as I always am. I'm always an ambassador of Nintendo and Mario at all these events because I just cherish every moment of it. And I hope that your love of the game continues to grow the way mine does. Look at that.
It could also just be Nintendo's way to keep him on contract. Like, don't go out and get drunk and get a DUI and crash your car because you're the prior voice of Mario. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just be cool and we'll keep you on staff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
It's I think they handled it very well with him. Just kind of like sunsetting him. You hear that term a lot. They're going to sunset this idea. We're going to sunset this concept, sunset this product. Well, that's what they're doing with Charles Martinet. They're sunsetting him. They're letting him go off into retirement with a little bit of a package. So in like 3 years from now,
that he gets paid along the way. Yeah.
Right.
Little retirement package.
Yeah.
And recognition.
Well, and maybe it's a thing they feel like maybe they didn't pay him enough along the way, because how much money has Mario made since he started voicing it? Billions.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Listen, he's had one primary job, and according to CelebrityNetWorth.com, Charles Martinet's net worth is $10 million.
I mean, he did well for himself, but if you think about it, he's the only guy that's been representing Mario person. Then it's like, what is that percentage? It's very, very 0.001. It's very small.
Sure. Yeah, I totally understand that. But from a business perspective, wouldn't you do that if you were Nintendo? I mean,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense.
But I also think it makes sense to give him a retire. You worked with us so many years. You didn't fuck up. You didn't make a mistake, make us look bad. We'll make you the brand ambassador and pay a salary for a few years.
Yeah,
nice.
For sure.
As Yellowflesh says, he says he's making a killing also at cons. Absolutely. Yellowflesh, good to see you, buddy. Look forward to having you on the show soon.
If he were to do cons as many years as he voiced Mario, I think he'd make 3 times as much money.
Yeah, he says I bet he makes 10 to 20K each con. Right. 100%. He's very well off for nailing an audition in 1993 or whatever.
Good for him, though.
Yeah. I mean, good. Yeah, for sure. Great for him. I love it. Love everything about that. Good for Bill. Bill coming in as a member for 4 months says,
"Let's go."
Have you reached out to Mahler, Rags, and Fringy at the EFAP podcast? They'd make great guests if you can get the timing right to get them all on. No, we have not, but Travis will.
I think Mahler and them. I think
they're
are
now on my list.
Over in England, over across the sea. So that's what they mean.
Well,
timing.
That's always hard. Like with Lethal, he had to stay up till 3 a.m.
Right.
We did get a Rick rolled in Rumble as well.
Oh yeah, I read that off.
I read that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And as Review Wings USA came in with the $4.99, thank you very much. And your avatar scares me. Says if you bring Melody Mac on bring Melody Mac on, be on tomorrow. Some clout chaser with a fake chicken will be fake offended for the LGBTQ community. Proceed with caution. Thank you, Review Wings USA. I'm sorry about those nipples.
I didn't want to see those tits right now.
We would proceed with caution if we really cared.
Yes.
And Kay from Melee Games says, Mr. Hadouken is an amazing lad. Drop him a follow. Let's go.
I
Super
love the
talented.
Melee Games people's Kay and James. Shortly after I did the theme song here, I just lingered in the Discord, started checking out G2's different streams and all that. I popped in their channel. I'm like, and DJ Access as well. And now Melee Games, when you go on their stream, you hear me or DJ Access, and it's a fun time over there. So shout out Melee Games, DJ Access, all those peoples. G2's, you guys are awesome.
We tell us something we don't know. I found a
Yeah.
new Twitter account which I followed, which I really appreciate. It's called Saved You a Click Video Games. So apparently it gives you the like a TLDR of what the story is in a tweet, so you don't actually have to actually click the article. But I saw this, and we're going to try this today and see how this goes. We were talking about this briefly as we move on to our next story. Starfield was obviously a big point of discussion yesterday. We had a lot of people freaking out. It was, we had a good discussion yesterday with all that. But Starfield is this game about space. We all know this. We go out. Apparently, Starfield doesn't require fast travel at all. You don't need to do it. But this is Alana Pierce. And Alana Pierce, she's been kind of all over the place. She's been in IGN and she was at Rooster Teeth and all she's kind of been a video game journalist hobo over the years. She just kind of bounced around from place to place. Anyway, she tried to go from planet to planet without fast travel by heading from one location to Pluto, which took 7 hours to do. And then when she finally got there, the textures became blurry and she passed right through Pluto. So it didn't quite work out.
I can explain why, though, because that's a rendering thing. So the system has to render this whole way there. And instead of doing fast travel where it renders right when you arrive, and that's just the general area that's now rendered, that whole path has been rendered in her memory of her system. And that's the issue. It didn't have any RAM or temporary memory to render the issue. And that's why you see fog in games in the distance. That's the exact same reason.
From my understanding, I think it's not like No Man's Sky where you fly towards a planet and you eventually arrive at the planet and then you can land on the planet. I believe that if you just aim at the planet and keep going at it, you're never going to get any closer. And same thing, she's like, oh, I'm going to take the long way. Instead of hyper driving it over there, I'm going to take a nice stroll for 7 hours. And she's like, where'd it go?
And it makes you, me as a player, if that was an option to slow travel like that, I would think there's a reason for it. Eventually, if I do it enough, I'm going to find something somebody else doesn't know about, like an Easter egg or something special, that because they would want you to spend so much time doing this that the odds of it are so slim, only one person's going to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You'd find something hidden, but maybe not.
This game is not built for that. They gave the illusion that this is going to be a big space exploration, and you're going to, like Elite Dangerous, that game is like, I believe, a 1-to-1 scale of like the Milky Way galaxy. Or I don't know if it's Elite Dangerous or one of those space games, but you could literally, there was like a story I remember where like someone got lost in Elite Dangerous, like way it took days, and there's like a team in Elite Dangerous that saves a crew because he ran out of fuel. Yeah, so like a game like that, they thought this Starfield was something similar to that, and it's like, nope, this is just pre-rendered little space areas where you have dog fights and loot some stuff, but essentially it's just like a rendered space area, and then you fast travel to the next area. You can't even, like I said, point at a planet and land in real time. You have to fast travel to it and watch a cutscene.
Don't know if it was before the show started. You were saying they were all little sandboxes. Well, now it makes much more sense to me. And it makes me wonder if the travel map, so she tried to set this travel distance, if the travel map's not its own little sandbox, right? So because she didn't use fast travel, she was still in that fake sandbox where the asset exists, but not exists in a way that you can interact with it or use it in the game, because you have to fast travel to the actual sandbox where it's all made,
So I'm curious where the map ended, because she could turn around at any point and go back to where she was, and I wonder if she was just like stopped at the edge of the map, making it illusion that she's going.
She keeps going.
Yeah, but it's probably only if she turned around, she'd probably would be back within like a couple minutes. She was just on the edge of the map, just traveling for 7 hours, thinking she's gonna make it, and the game finally was like, you're playing it wrong, lady."
It's almost like they lied to everybody and said this is an open world game when really, in fact, it's not. It gives the illusion of an open world game.
Bingo. And Todd Howard and his sweet little lies. Ooh, that's what I'm more mad about Bethesda and this versus all this other outrage. I'm mad that Bethesda's still being mediocre, still relying on mods to make their games good again. It's an embarrassment. You should put out a full game, not needing the community to fix your game every single time. Buggy mess. Forget it. Screw Bethesda.
How do you really feel about it?
That's how I feel about it.
Well, the crazy part is I'm an outsider looking at it because I don't even remember a Bethesda game that I ever bought and played all the way through. I'm sure there is one, but just looking at this from the outside, it's very dishonest to the people buying your game.
Right, and honestly, here it's like, here's an example. Like Skyrim was the first game that I played and like, you know, fully understood, okay, this is how you play an RPG, this is how you play a Bethesda game, yada yada. I played it all the way through, cool. Then I got the game on PC and started modding it and the textures and making it look way more beautiful, and I'm like, I've been lied to this whole time thinking Skyrim's a good game when it's dog shit compared to what when the fans get their hands on it and make a great game out of it. And so I'm like, you can't go back once you've been modded. Once you play Skyrim modded, you can't go back. It's honestly, the modding community knows. They're like, Bethesda
Actually,
vanilla is.
I remember the last Bethesda game I played. It was Star Trek Legacy. That'll tell you how long ago it was.
Star Trek. Oh God, which game was that?
Look it up.
Oh my God,
Look it up.
I think it was like
gonna.
2003 or 7 or something like that.
Was
Well, I'll
that a
say
third-person game?
No, you fly a ship.
Oh, Flash. Okay, gotcha.
You kind of sit behind the ship a little bit.
Gotcha.
So we're talking about all these games, guys. I'm going to move to the next story here. There is rumors of the SAG-AFTRA strike now has sent an authorization vote to the video game industry after they failed to meet the needs of video game actors. So they're saying that there could be a video game strike happening soon, where all your video games will now go away. And you can see this tweet right here. It says companies facing a possible strike include Activision, EA, Epic Games, Insomniac Games, Take-Two, and WB. Now, this is for video game actors, not necessarily video game developers, right? Which I've said this pretty much since the start. And by the way, poll in the chat. Do you care at all about the writer's strike, the writers and actors strike? So this would affect actors, voice actors, etc., right? Which in theory could mess with your games and the development here. But there's a few things that I see with it, any sort of like video game strike. Number one, what you're going to see is a faster move to AI, which, you know, it's going to happen very quick. Number two, you're going to see a rise up of indie developers. If Activision and, you know, all these major AAA, you know, companies go, it's going to provide a much larger opportunity for smaller companies to work and do their thing with AI and build games that way. I don't know, man. It's interesting, and you see that, you know, the story continues here with from Yahoo Finance says video game strike is in the making as actors union slams industry's greed. That's what it always comes down to.
To be honest, I think actors and video game developers really need to start thinking about their long-term career futures. And what I mean by that is they need to use one of these negotiations now to say, hey, look, if you don't want to pay us all this money increase, we won't ask you to pay any increase at all. But we want it in a contract that you're not going to replace us with an AI job within the next 25 years.
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know. I think there's no way that you can predict anything 25 years out. I mean, you go back 25 years from now, that's 1998. MTV was still relevant, right?
And the terms could be negotiable, 10 years, 15 years, or whatever. But I think they that would be their best way to secure their long-term profit and career.
It's interesting to see the polls here. 83% say you do not care about the actors and writers strike, with 17% in a positive view as a positive thing. Paul, you said something before we went live. You said you Uber for a living, right? So you said you talk with a bunch of people on a day-to-day basis, bunch of strangers. You've had thousands of conversations with people, and I think that's the best way to learn about how people in the world are really thinking. Have you had any conversations with people about the writer strikes that have been brought up at all? Does anybody like, oh, I sure wish those Hollywood actors would get it together so we can have some reality TV shows or whatever?
Go ahead. No, to be honest, no, I don't think so. I don't think people care really. Just the average everyday person is too busy with their own life to care about, hey, your little pretend job where you get to go and make more money and pretend. The hell I care,
Can I ask you guys both a question in our chat? I'm curious. I don't know this answer, is why I'm asking it. So the Writers Guild and all that, are people like who write for Netflix or streaming services or smaller program like that? Are they part of the Writers Guild, or is it just like television and movies?
No, it's everything. If you write for anything on screen, you pretty much it's pretty much like the law. You have to be a part of a union,
or they'll blacklist you and not hire you, or
right?
Whatnot.
It's kind of like one of those things. Yeah,
someone make that make sense. How does that not sound like some mob stuff?
It's some mafia shit. Yeah,
that is.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and I believe corporations, they agree not to hire non-union people with the union, right?
Right. Yeah, and you see that's what I say. Unions in theory are a very good idea. Union in practice are a horrible idea, because what happens is there's actual people associated with them, and people have feelings and emotions, and like if it's a sterile environment, the idea of a union is wonderful, right? But in practice, it doesn't work at all.
And and now my question is, what if somebody wants to form a sub-union and not be a part of the big union? Is the big union like going to push them out or pressure them or something? So say I work at the post office, right? And there's 1,000 workers at the post office, and I feel the union is not going to represent me best because there's only 10 of us in my department. So we want to form our own little union because our skills are very very valued and needed, and only 10 of us can do it. Can we make our own union, and are they going to leave us alone? I doubt it.
As was pointed out, absolutely says, and if you're a scab, you'll be destroyed. So much for the little guy. Check this out. Yellow Flash says, I was in the UAW for a time. The only thing I ever saw them do was take care of lazy bums.
For real, man. There's so many union workers. Here, I'm in Chicago. The joke is there's only two seasons, winter and construction. And you see those union workers just sitting on their ass, doing nothing. My girlfriend's brother works at an electric a union job, and the people that get paid the most sit around and do nothing, and you can't do anything about it. Make it make sense.
You're right. I told this story on the show before. When I went to go work, this ruined my postal career, by the way. I went to go work at the post office. My mom worked in the same building. I went and started with my brother. Me and my brother worked right next to each other, and they put me with a guy that was 3 months away from retirement. And this is verbatim what he said to me: I retire in 3 months. I'm not doing anything. Right. So now it's just me and him running this machine, right? And I have to feed the machine because he doesn't do that, right? So now, not only am I feeding the machine, I'm running to the other side of the machine to get the bins of mail off, which is his job, right? And I have to meet a number quota. And if I don't meet that number quota, I get in trouble. You see what I'm saying? So, and I wasn't union protected because, and this is what my mom told me, because she wasn't my direct boss, but her friend was. And I talked to my mom to see if I wanted to know what I should do. And she said this to me: it would take longer for us to fire him than he has left on his contract. So there's nothing we can do.
That's wild.
As somebody who, I live down here in Texas. Texas is a right to work state, meaning that you can pretty much be fired at any time for pretty much anything. As long as it's, not really even with cause. You can just be like, yeah, we're cutting back, and then that's it. Sometimes I feel like
it's encouraged not to tell them why, because they could sue you later if you say the wrong thing.
But that's all I've ever known. Right. So the idea of looking at a union from the outside, it seems like it encourages complacency and laziness, to where people feel so secure around, just what you said. They can't fire me. And if they want to fire me, it's going to be such a pain in the ass that it's not even worth it. I said, in theory, it all sounds good, but in practical use, it just doesn't make sense.
My mom, she's the boss of a plant. One of the bosses there, she has like 600 employees, right? And she's been to court 14 times just to fire one person.
Jesus.
14 times.
Well, people may not want to get into the video game industry, as apparently a new survey has come out that says that many game developers consider their careers unsustainable. So everyone, you hear about this all the time. They go like, I want to get in and make some video games. I'm going to do it. And here we are. But this new thing came out, and it's like, yeah, guess what? This is not something that you can do pretty much forever. Only a handful of people will be able to do it. And there's just there's a lot of doubt in the video game development world right now about their career.
Sad. And it's wild. Hopefully it gives opportunity for the indie people, like more like I see all this like everything going through some basically mafia in order to be released, and I'm like really more excited for just indie content creators or like Ripaverse and his comic and all that, like I'm stoked to see what the average person is creating, because it definitely feels like all the passion is coming through smaller content creators and all that. So I let them fight it out. Hey, we're all struggling. There's a recession. We're all struggling. We all need a raise. Screw your little writing job. I need a raise. I drive people around. Where's my raise for driving people around? Screw y'all.
and I'll tell you, you don't make a lot of money doing Uber or Lyft compared to your expenses.
Yeah, exactly. But man, ever since Dangus old Biden decided to be a president, holy hell, gas. I used to take $25 to fill up my little hatchback and last me forever. Now I put $20 in, it's like barely a quarter. It's like, what the hell?
Hey, side point, when I first started driving, gas was 98 cents a gallon, and I owned a Honda Accord hatchback, so I'd put $5 in gas in my car and just drive around all fucking day.
You'll fart. So it's funny because this is not the first time that, obviously, there's been a lot of talk over the years about some sort of video game union, right? We got to unionize video game developers. Sticking with this strike theme. A couple of years ago, there was a company called Vodio, and it was North America's first certified game developers union. And I don't know, did you guys ever hear about this before? Vodio. It was for indie studios, and indie studios employees unionized with voluntary recognition from leadership. So leadership's like, sure.
But this is dangerous to do with indie studios because they just might close rather than deal with it.
So here's the problem with that is they shut down less than a year later. And here we are. Did not work out very well
Yeah,
So
they're indie stuff. They're not making a bunch of money. They don't have a lot of bargaining room, and then you all stick together and say, "Well, we need more money." They don't have it. Like, what the fuck? And to speak to Paul's point earlier, I think this is a systemic problem with the video game industry and the movie industry, and I think they all get so comfortable towing the same line and reusing the same things and doing the same tropes that are successful in the past, that they don't think outside the box, right? And then that makes why this is why Marvel movies are trash now. This is why a lot of movies are failing, because it's all reused old tropes, and that used to work because of nostalgia, but people are getting sick and tired of it. Write something new. And
Yep.
when you're in this group of all these people, in this union of all these people, then you get into this group mindset, right? And you have to toe the company line too. You can't take a risk. You can't think outside the box. You can't do this, can't do that, because you might get fired. You know?
question for the chat. I'm talking about gas prices. Going off Paul's thing and Travis's. What is the cheapest gas that A, you've seen? B, what's the cheapest you've been able to fill up with? I remember being able to fill up for less than $20.
Oh yeah, we could fill up our Honda Accord hatchback for $15 back when my parents got divorced back then. So.
Yeah, now it's damn expensive now. Couple super chats. Thank you guys very much for the support. Hal says there are thousands of good games out there that I haven't even tried yet. Most are new releases and are no better than the backlog anyways. You are correct, Hal. If a video game strike was to go on, it's not like they're just going to take away the games.
Exactly. It's funny because with this whole Starfield mess, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play a good space RPG. So I popped in the Outer Worlds by Obsidian, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy myself here.
Right.
Step away from all that.
TRSK says, I'll support a video game strike. I have a backlog of games to play, and gaming is now boring and safe. Maybe this will get them to wake up. Yeah.
NCZ said 96 cents. You must live near me. We got, for a while here in the Midwest, we got ethanol subsidies for our gas. So gas was cheaper because they'd put 10% corn ethanol in it.
Yeah.
And we produce so much fucking corn. So our gas was a lot cheaper for a long time.
Another question for the chat. What was gas 4 years ago versus what is gas now? I'm just curious. In your area.
Here in this, because I live right by one of the airports, not O'Hare. O'Hare's the big airport. Midway is the smaller airport. I live right by there, and right by the airport on the southwest side, it's not nearly as bad as like the city or the north side. Like at the peak of the shutdowns and all that, I saw it go up to 6 and all that. But on average, yeah, like 4 years ago, like 2018. Under $3 was the average, like between $2.50 and $3 was the average gas price. And I remember at one point going somewhere to the suburbs, like deep in the burbs. At some point, I saw $1.99 in 2018 in right near Chicago. I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing,
man.
It's one of the things, like, inflation matters too. Like, I think there's 7 on the low end to 15% inflation every year on the high end, and so gas prices should theoretically go up 7 to 15% every year anyway. But it has been a larger jump than that. Let's say that.
Yeah, this is
which is theoretically it should be much cheaper now for all Americans, because America is now the largest producer of oil in the world, and we have been since about 2006-ish. So we produce more oil than the rest of the world. But the problem is America can't process the sweet crude that we make. Right. Only other countries can. We're good at processing the Middle Eastern oil, right? So we still have to buy that oil because it's the only oil we can process. So that's why our gas prices don't go down, because we can only sell the crude that we produce to other people who can process.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you can go down the oil. We can talk about oil all day long and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and you know how we want to handle our energy crisis and all that. But we're not.
Nuclear.
So yeah. All right, let's go to our next story here. Obviously, we talk about Twitter a lot, Elon Musk a lot, and there's been a tremendous amount of drama the last few days on Twitter. That has nothing to do with Starfield. Nothing to do with Starfield. But Elon Musk has been in a battle with the Anti-Defamation League. Are you familiar with this? The ADL. You guys familiar with this?
I'm familiar. I don't care too much, but yeah.
You don't care about Elon Musk
Like-
being
like
in a
it-
battle with him, or
No,
the
no, no,
ADL?
no. I mean, like when ADL comes up, I'm like, what is that again? I have to be refreshed basically, I keep forgetting what ADL is, and then I'm like, what is that again? So that's
Funny
what
enough,
I mean
the ADL are usually the people who sue other people for defamation, right? Or help
Right.
people, something like that.
So
right.
there's been a lot of back and forth. Since Elon Musk took Twitter over, there are people who have said the rise of hate speech on Twitter is peaking, and Elon Musk is like, no, I have data to back this up. That's not what's happening, right? But the Anti-Defamation League has gone in, and as Elon Musk has put it, they are approaching advertisers at Twitter and saying, like, look, this is the type of platform that you're advertising on. You need to pull out. And ultimately, about 50% of Twitter's advertisers have pulled out because of pressure from the Anti-Defamation League, right? That's apparently how the stories go. So Elon Musk put out a tweet or a post or an X or whatever it's called, says, to clear our platform's name on the matter of anti-Semitism, it looks like we have no choice but to file a defamation lawsuit against the Anti-Defamation League. Oh, the irony. And as was pointed out down below, that it's not the first time that they've been sued for defamation and lost. And he said, you know, what's interesting about this, he says that in our case, they would be potentially be on the hook for destroying half the value of our company. So roughly $22 billion.
Hey, and since Elon is the sole owner of that company, right? His company doesn't own it; he owns it. Am I correct on that?
He could hypothetically end up getting
all his money that he spent on Twitter back.
Right. Yes.
I don't know.
He could get Twitter for free. So
basically, yeah, that's what
Damn.
I'm thinking.
That'd be a baller
That'd be
move.
a hell of a move, wouldn't it?
So there was this a lot of conversation going on about this. The Anti-Defamation League is saying, "Oh, you can't believe the things that are being said on Twitter about this, and these things shouldn't be said, and Twitter needs to be held accountable. And advertisers, how are you going to do this?" I just find it absolutely amazing, and I get that Twitter is a giant town square, right, of conversation. But how can you look at Twitter and think this is the worst place online when you have some of the
Telegram,
right,
Reddit.
4chan, like go down the list, right?
8chan.
Like go to
16 no.
right.
No,
And
8chan was a thing.
I know, yeah.
it's amazing to see the well, we're gonna lock onto this, and you can't spend your money here, but go ahead and spend it on Reddit, right? Like, do you know how much bullshit is on Reddit? How much absolute shit is on Reddit?
How about shit on YouTube, shit on
Right,
Twitch, shit
right.
on network television?
So there's been a back and forth on this, and there was a Twitter Spaces about this last night, and this is kind of going a little viral, which is interesting about this, because I think that just from an entertainment perspective, this is fascinating. There's a journalist called Keith Woods, and you know, I want to be clear. Like, I've seen Adam tweet about this. Adam said, you know, there was a hashtag ban the ADL. I don't think you should ban anybody. I very much believe in free speech. Just because I think that you know, whatever group they're saying I don't agree with doesn't mean they should be silenced. They should be able to say whatever the hell they want.
Oh, for sure. But I think this for sure points out the hypocrisy of the group when you are the Anti-Defamation League and you defame somebody.
Right. So there was a Twitter Spaces happening last night or yesterday about this conversation, and it was put on by by a pretty big Twitter account, and this guy Keith Woods came in during it and pretty much exposed the girl who is kind of the counterpoint to what was happening. Just it says, "Watch the moment I exposed Israeli intelligence officer Vivian Berkovici trying to disrupt the ADL Files Twitter space after asking her about her background working with Israeli intelligence firm Black Cube. She quit the space and deactivated her account."
Yeah.
Right?
Don't you think that if she is indeed a secret agent of a foreign government, right? Don't you think that there's some reason that she's doing what she's doing? And if she then left the platform after it was pointed out that, hey, this is your job, it kind of proves the point, does it not?
So here's the interaction, which is pretty fascinating to listen to. And this is her speaking. This is my personal thoughts.
Oh, I can't hear it.
I can't hear anything.
Oh,
yeah.
you can't. Oh, you can't hear it.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
Sorry. Thank you.
I'm
Oh,
like,
oh. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry.
Am I the only one? I don't want to be saying anything.
Here we go.
Say this. I've been accused of all kinds of horrible things personally because I'm Jewish. And a number of listeners here, and maybe they'll have the courage and integrity to speak up, have already messaged me on Twitter saying, oh, well, we know which side you're on, don't we? A dual citizen, ergo dual Canadian Israeli citizen. Therefore, she can't be trusted, can she?
I get this.
Pause that
Anyway,
for a minute.
those messages.
It's not about her citizenship. It's about that she's a spy for a foreign government.
Well, let's go and continue.
Any of the people who wrote those messages have the integrity to speak up now and tell me. Why
Well,
did you say
Vivian,
that?
I have a question. If we're talking about conflict of interest, is it true you work for an Israeli intelligence firm called Black Cube?
No, who are you?
It's like, caught.
No.
Oh,
Keith Woods. Nice to meet you.
I get accused of being
Yeah,
Mossad
so
every
you
time
know
I pop
what?
into
You
a
guys-
space.
I think we're going back to the moving away.
Well,
Moving away.
no, it's on our Wikipedia.
Yeah,
It's on our Wikipedia. I'm not just
Sure.
throwing stuff
You
out
can
there.
state it. People could check out on the Wikipedia. I just want to go back to the specific points. And there's one point you made earlier, Vivian.
She didn't really answer.
Yeah, she jumped off. That's like I wanted to keep it on the particular points.
I wonder why.
But let's.
I
So-
think the point's proven right there.
dude, you could hear it in her voice. Like
She was
she
caught.
slipped up. She's like, who is this guy? That gave it away.
Well, and also, why ask who it is? Or are you gonna look into him afterwards?
Right.
Why do you need to know who it is? Just answer the fucking question.
Oof.
And the fact that she quit the space and then just straight up deactivated her account is very telling, right?
Sus.
Yeah. I think in a situation like this,
Also, wait, if you're a foreign agent, you're probably a shitty foreign agent if it says it on your Wikipedia.
right? So Twitter is interesting because the number of bots that are on here, and this has been discussed as well, the idea that there are bots who might as well be you cannot tell the difference between a person and what a bot is saying. They're so on point with the responses and riling up anger and triggering any sort of reaction. You see this all the time of like all these fake accounts that are spewing the exact same message, right, over and over again, and that's literally what they are. But when asked about this, and Musk is right about this, you don't know which of these counts are actually real, and if these people are actually saying shitty things about this, unless they're verified, unless they're members, unless they're paying, and even then, you may not even know. Somebody may want to put a bunch of money into $100,000 a month into creating fake accounts, sock accounts, and then going
Or
in
if you're a
and
spy,
spreading
you
bullshit.
have fake documents, and you can make a fake account.
Of course. But I think the idea of what the ADL is doing is really short sighted. The idea of, well, they said mean things and I don't like it. That's really what it comes down to. Or these people don't feel safe. It's like, really? Welcome to the internet. We
Yeah.
should just drop the entire internet then.
It's a sad day when. So their whole thing is being an anti-defamation league, right? And they're supposed to stand up for justice, right? But instead they're throwing their weight around because somebody says something they don't like. That's not defamation. It just happens to be something you don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if Elon Musk, let's just say he takes them to court, and let's just say they settle, which I don't think Elon Musk would do. I think he has no interest in settling in a situation like this. The reputation attached to it. I think that in a situation like this, he would want them to walk with their tail between their legs, pay up some money, totally bankrupt them. And could you imagine the heat that would be on Elon Musk if he bankrupt the anti-defamation league?
Well,
Yep.
maybe they shouldn't have been defaming people when they're the anti-defamation league.
Right. Of course not. Of course. Yeah, there you go. Anything else on that one?
I was gonna say he bet hopefully we don't hear that Elon Musk got Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, that's a totally different side. But hey, if they're sending spies and all that, shit, man, I don't know. Be careful, Elon. Get your guards. Hire some more guards.
Let's go to this last one with Twitch. Twitch is taking a playbook out of Twitter's handbook, and they're saying you'll soon be able to block banned accounts, not just from chatting, but actually watching your streams, which, in theory, sounds like it's something that should have been done a long time ago. I guess, like when you block somebody on Twitter, they can't see your account unless they go and log into another account or log out altogether. I guess you can't even log out anymore because you get like a generic Twitter page. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know your thoughts on this. The idea of banning people from actually tuning into your channel.
Is it like just an account or like an IP or something? Because like again, they could just make another account and watch you.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea that you can just log out and continue watching if you want. I think the idea is that it's just it's an extra step of if you really want to troll, if you really want to do it, and you see this all the time. Let's say you ban an account for trolling, right? It takes you, I don't know, 45 seconds to make an account on Twitch on anything, yep. Right? So how quickly they'll just come right back. Oh right. No, I banned, Adam loves pandas 696969. Oh, here comes Adam loves pandas 707070. You know what I mean? It happens immediately, and it does seem like a pretty useless feature. But
yeah, I mean, the next step they could do is try to ban IPs, but then they'll go and get an IP blocker and and all that. Well, so
they might be trying to do this to correlate things to find like fake accounts, sock accounts. So say you're watching something and you're banned from something, and then immediately you log off, another account log on 30 seconds later and start saying shit to people, right? So if that happens 10 or 15 times, then there's a correlation there and they know that that's a fake account.
Right.
And maybe they're trying to get those statistics. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to get some information that they can only see on their end and doesn't really affect, because like we said, trolls are going to troll. Right. They're persistent.
I think that's the most fascinating thing about trolls is, like, I'm positive that like most are pretty autistic or somewhere on the spectrum because they are so focused on their goals of like, we have people who hate watch us and they're going to take what I just said out of context. I'm like, critics and yeah, guess what? You are. There's something along there that they're so hyper focused on their goal, and so they hate watch or they take clips or they to points where they can be banned, and their lives are so revolved around hate and anger that that they'll find a way to make it work. And this goes back to, hey, I forgive you.
Right.
I forgive you all.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing that you can. That's the worst thing that they want to hear, is that you forgive them. I forgive you for your hatred.
One of my biggest. I am a big believer in kill him with kindness. It is such a it'll just stop someone in their tracks and be like, oh, okay, and then they'll just stop bothering you. I've learned that, like, doing Uber, if someone starts getting annoying or whatever, or starts getting like really like angry, or like, I don't really get too much. Surprisingly, I do not like. Contrary to what people see on the internet, people don't go crazy in Ubers. Most of those are staged. I live in Chicago. I drive in the middle of the night. People assume I'm driving strippers and drug dealers and gangbangers around, but most people I'm just driving as just normal people. And they don't really get outraged too much. But if they do, or someone's getting whatever, kill them with kindness, and it's such an easy way to just deflect.
Vicky says, y'all aren't always kind. Come on now. Listen, we're kind most of the time. We truly listen. Everybody gets sucked into the muck.
I'm kind unless somebody deserves it.
Right. Some people get annoying. Some people get whatever. But yeah, most of the time I'm just like, brush it off my shoulders. Whatever, you go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. Trolls want a reaction, and there's two ways to deal with trolls: get down to their level and troll them back, which I always find fun sometimes.
That is fun, yeah.
Depending on the context, or just ignore them, and that's gonna hurt them the most. I although using their own logic back
against
them is
the best.
That's
always fun too. It's
fun.
Always fun to indulge sometimes, but the best thing is to just let it go.
Yeah.
Hey, Pest came in and says, hey, where's Billy from the Game Chasers? Billy's going to be on next Tuesday. He was going to be on today, but he had a some sort of doctor thing he had to go to. So he'll be on next Tuesday and the following Tuesday.
I killed him so I could get on. Okay.
Sal came in with a $2 direct donation. Says, when Iceland was going to ban male circumcision, the ADL threatened to falsely smear Iceland, writing in a menacing letter. Fuck the ADL. All right, Sal. How do you really feel about it? And Matthew came in with the $5 super chat. Says, trolls like DSP are rich. Remember, monetize the haters. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to do every once in a while, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
Right. I feel like you guys do it a little like tastefully. It's like, you dip your toes in. You don't stay on it for too long. You'll do a day or whatever. We'll get on it next day. Like you said, it's like waking up feeling hungover sometimes. It's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
It's just exhausting, man.
For
sure. It's just too much. It's just too much to kind of dip into the muck all the time. So, all right, let's go ahead and get to some memes as we finish up today. Once again, thank you guys very much for hitting our membership goal. We got to our 20 earlier today. Just absolutely spectacular after the 20 gifted memberships from Stardust Viking. That's beyond generous. And we really appreciate it. This one from core member says, I guess we're looking at Blabs riding an ostrich here. Says General Blabs wastes no time. Let's go Blabs down in Australia down there. Good for
down
Blabs.
under.
Thank you, Cloud. Appreciate that. And then we got this one. Oh, boy, here we are. It says Craig is not a fan of Paul's new song.
Oh boy.
Story that had no end. I give.
Love it. You see me just laughing there.
Yep. Love it.
So
and then we
mean, Craig.
We got this one. I know. I'm a evil bastard. Says the entire pronouns discourse began because left-wing progressives got offended by non-inclusive inclusivity of the Are You a Boy or Girl selection tab in the first place. Not the other way around, you morons. Yeah, I guess this is where the whole like Are You a Boy or Girl thing started with Pokemon, apparently. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Then we got this one from court member says American woman takes command of emu army. Emus forever. What is this emu thing? What's going on here?
So emus are like ostriches. They are slightly smaller, but they look very, very similar. I expect Blabs to train an emu and an ostrich to fight each other because that's kind of who Blabs is. And by the time we come back, she will have opened a emu ostrich fighting ring.
That's very bizarre. Thank you, Travis, for sharing.
I believe it.
Then we got this one from Mazza over here. It says when Blabs arrives, and Mazza, just the total like leaning in. I love her. I love her so much. And we got this one from Extra Zero. It says the real reason Paul Hadouken froze on side scrollers. Adam coming in with his Mr. Freeze.
True.
Guy. He's like, you can't stop stealing my job.
Love it. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Big ups to Paul for coming in and being a part of the show today. Paul, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter, on the YouTubes, the Rumbles, Twitter for, everybody, how long until you can stop restreaming, and Kick. I do streaming of like me and my band will jam. I also do, you came in, you Rumble rated us once. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I also stream games and also stream like music production. So I'll sit here and like record a song and hang out with chat and all that stuff. So come check me out at Paul Hadouken and see y'all there. G2s, I love you.
Nikki, I will absolutely look up the Great Emu War for sure. Thank you very much, Nikki, for that. All right, go follow Travis over on Twitter. You can find me over on the X as well, and I will be live over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel very, very shortly in a battle against you. As we do our best, or I do my best, to take down Ninja Gaiden. Hype on the NES. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Yes, Travis.
Also, I'm streaming tonight at 9 o'clock, so if you want to come hang out, please do. And thank you, Paul, for coming on with little notice.
Yes, I appreciate it. And we got to stream Sea of Thieves sometime real soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, and Craig, if you ever want to play Apex, I'm down too.
Hell yeah! Cloud says we didn't show your meme. I'm sorry. We're dealing with a bunch of stuff. I don't know where.
I think there may have been one. Hold on. I think. Wait.
Did I miss one?
Oh, here we go. Yep, I got it. Here we are. Got it.
If it's Cloud, it's a Blabs meme, right?
Yes, kangaroo.
Sorry, Cloud.
Let's check it out.
This dog is clearly in fucking trouble, getting choked the fuck out right now. The owner comes to save the day, squares up with the king. Oh!
I mean, that's
Confusion.
the same look Blabs has on her face when she's drowning NPCs.
Yep.
Crazy. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Melanie Mack will be joining us on a Wednesday. I'll see you guys shortly over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Head over there, hit the subscribe button, and join us. It's going to be really, really fun today. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys later. Bye-bye.